Yeah,
we are live.
Oh, people are watching us.
Yep.
Am I choking
We're
the
just
strings? Gary, am I choking the strings? Choking the strings. Matt Slocum told me that.
You do choke the strings.
What does that even mean?
They're not ringing. You're not letting them ring. You're blocking them.
How's that? I was
Because you play. It's fun.
So I'm playing with Sixpence. I'm going to go out on tour with them
Right.
this fall.
Right.
And I'm not playing the drums. Dale Baker's the drummer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shaking tambourine and I'm playing a little acoustic guitar.
Right.
And I'm like nervous about that. And I've told Matt Slocum, I says, "Is I'm all right on the acoustic guitar?" He goes, "Yeah, you're kind of choking the strings." So
strings.
I don't know what that is. I don't know. I've been playing since I was 11 years old. I mean, I'm the drummer in the band, but I mean,
You've always choked the
I've
strings.
been choking the strings since 1971, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of like overblowing on a saxophone, maybe.
Oh,
you
really?
know, you're just supposed to kind of
Just
maybe
it's because I'm,
let it ring.
I'm nervous in front of Matt. I'm squeezing it too hard. I'm doing something.
Probably.
Yeah,
That's probably what
Matt's
it is, right?
Matt's a perfectionist.
He
but,
is,
Yeah.
I appreciate that about him. Except when I'm playing the guitar. Well, here we are, promoting our Kickstarter, our Free Flying Soul Kickstarter. We've only got, 3 more days, Dan?
Yeah, it ends Friday night, 11 p.m. Central. I picked 11 because of your reference to 11 o'clock in the
It's
Warbler.
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know what that song's about?
Nope.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yep.
I didn't know.
I want to know about it.
I kind of knew that. Well, no, I was 36 at the time. That was 1996 we did that album, right?
Yeah.
And I was feeling pretty old.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like about the end of youth, Hey, we're really old in our late 30s, getting to be, but it's only 11 o'clock. Like the night is young, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
And now that I'm 64, I'm feeling like, the best is yet to come. I'm not feeling as old now as I was then. I don't think maybe.
Could be.
Yeah, I mean, that's true for me too. I mean, I've never felt more, happy, excited, interested in the future than...
Yeah, because you just quit your job after 20.
Retired.
How many years of marketing at
Yeah, so I've been at what used to be called I&O Records and Fair Trade for about 24 years. And fantastic season. I got to work with some amazing bands, Phil Wickham, The Afters, Mercy Me and everything, Sarah Groves, too many to count. But week before last was my last week at the company, so now you guys get my undivided attention.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if we can get it going. Maybe,
I know.
Maybe we can get this rock, push it up the hill and over the top of the hill.
Yeah, 2025. That's
Maybe
right.
our career's going to take off.
Yes.
Use all your marketing skills on us. I feel
It's
it.
true. It's true. Well, part of that marketing is doing these Kickstarters, and your support is so appreciated. And we have the Free Flying Soul Kickstarter going on right now, which is to reissue it as a remastered CD, but also to put it on vinyl for the very first time. So we're excited about it. We have about 3 more days to it. And one of the cool songs on the record
It's on.
Hold on.
Do we just try the phone?
Yeah, I think that's the,
It sounded good until it didn't.
yeah. Is there anything you can turn off, turn on outside of the phone? It said it.
Okay, this is just the fun. Oh, the phone.
Can you hear that?
Can you hear that? How about now?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear now?
Checking. We're talking to all you guys out
talking.
there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Checking. It's good now, says Chris. Can somebody confirm? We got Stephanie. Can't hear anything. Brent Halpenny says yes. Matthew says yes. Rex says yes. So here we are again. What I wanted to say was, in case anybody missed it, is that there's a couple versions of the Warbler out there. Derry sings it on the Free Flying Soul album, but you have a magnificent version on your solo records. So would like to hear you singing the Warbler tonight.
So I'm going to do my best. All right, so. What about that thunder we hear anytime the lightning reappears? Never fear the darkness or the shock. 360 strokes before heaven, it's already 11 o'clock. Listen to the warbler's rhapsody. He never chirps any funereal melody. He doesn't mind the night sky or the hawk. Sorry lovers take wing under heaven. Bells ringing, 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. You must believe it true when I swear we're alive. Beware the deceiver. He's a killer and a liar, the chiller of desire. Your spirit and your eyes are on fire. Celebrate the wonder of lunar light. Listen how the coyote stings at the sight. Never mind that drum dirge you hear droning. Fade away into oblivion. Let decay, anyone moaning, anyone moaning. You must believe it true, I swear we're alive. Beware the deceiver, she's a killer and a liar, the chiller of desire. Your spirit and your eyes are on fire. Listen to the warbler's rhapsody. He never sings any funereal melody. Disregard anybody moaning. Never mind that drum dirge droning. What about that thunder we all hear anytime the lightning reappears? Never fear the darkness or the shock. 360 strokes to touch heaven. It's only 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
Can I unplug, Gary?
Hang on. The screen went off. Okay, you can unplug now.
So, in case anybody missed it at the front end, you were kind of talking about how you wrote that song, kind of at the age of what, 36?
Yeah, I was 36 in 1996, and we were all I was feeling kind of old, and I thought, man, you know, and people were, I don't know, there was a lot of hard times. It was a hard season for a lot of us, and I was like, come on, there's still hope, you know. It's only 11 o'clock, you know. We're not dead yet.
Right,
You know?
right.
And now, you know, at 64 years old, I feel, oh man, there's so much life ahead, you know. But I would say the night is always young if you hope that our souls are eternal.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. Gary,
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No.
you're still young at heart, aren't you?
Oh man, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel fine.
10 more years, 15,
15, 20.
20.
Yeah, I'll be around for a while.
We got about, that would mean maybe 20 more choir albums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
About 20 more.
How many have
rounds.
we done, guys?
And by that point,
Uh,
we'll have about 230 Patreon fans
Yes, yes.
in 20 years.
Yeah.
I always try to count our albums because there's a couple of EPs in there, and I'm thinking,
Let's get the crowd to tell us. Let's get
how
our
many
fans.
records, how many studio albums have we done?
Like, do you count Shades of Grey as a separate studio album? Do you
Yes.
count Speckled Bird and Kissers and Killers as separate albums?
You know, I don't know. They were separate time. It's separate.
Yeah.
Shades of Grey for sure.
I mean, Kissers and Killers, we were in LA, it was the last one, and then we moved to Nashville, and we
Right.
did Speckled Bird, we added 5 more songs.
Right.
It's definitely
Right.
a different season.
Okay. What about Peace, Love, and Light? That's our Christmas album. Was that, is that considered a...
Oh, 25 songs. It's an EP.
Yeah,
25
it's an
songs,
EP, but it's a studio project.
Right.
Yeah.
And Deplumed, that counts, right?
Same thing.
Deplumed has got to count.
Yeah, it counts.
Yeah, Tim says I count Shades of Grey. Jonathan does... What is Philip saying here? Not enough? Yeah.
Well, I think there's
So-
17 or 18.
Yeah, 17 or 18.
Yeah.
And then how many songs do we have banked on Patreon right now? Almost 30.
About 30.
Well, we have recorded one a month. We've honored our commitment to Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Patreon. We've done it for how long, Lisa? 3 years?
3 years, I think, in
So
last
we've
May.
done 36. A few covers.
Yeah,
We've got 30 songs, you know,
Yeah.
and some of them are pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never when we go, hey, let's do a crummy. I'm going to write a bad song, you guys, right now. I don't care. Let's just.
Yeah.
We always try,
No, we try.
Yeah,
and I think we've got a really good double album out there.
yeah. I think so too. Yeah.
So here's my thing. I don't know if
Alright.
I even told. I was telling Dan this, my idea. I'm not a marketing guy, but I 2020. So we have what 18 albums, say 17. We got to do one more album.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about doing this ambient thing. Now, we're not supposed to talk about that, right? But doing an ambient album. Anyway, if our 20th album is we take our Patreon songs, we pick the best of them, we go back and spend a little more time on them,
Mm-hmm.
a little more time,
Yeah.
and 20 of them. 20 songs, 20th release. 2020, what do you think? Is that just too...
No, I like
Do
it.
you like it?
I like it. I mean, Gary,
I like it.
feedback?
I'm fine.
You good?
People are like saying sometimes that we get comments like, you're doing all these one-off streamings. It's like, no, we're making new music all the time.
Yeah. That's right.
So, but it's been very different to do Patreon because we're doing a song every month as opposed to waiting for a couple of years and then doing them all at once. So it's different.
Right.
Yeah.
We're very thankful to our Patreon supporters who have kept us going.
Yeah.
I mean, they really have. It's been amazing that
Gives us something to do every month.
yeah. We try hard
I know.
every month. Yeah.
So one of the things, going back to Free Flying Soul, one of the things that we did is work with Nigel Palmer, who's in the UK. He's got it's called Lowland Masters, and he's remastered the Free Flying Soul album. We were able to find the source files, the actual mixes pre-mastering for this album, and then he mastered it for vinyl. I don't know. I mean, I know what that means, but I don't know what that means. So maybe Derry can kind of elaborate on what it means to remaster and do it for vinyl.
Well, there's two different kinds of remastering. One is for CD or for streaming. And that is where you're basically a lot of people go for as loud as you can possibly get it because you're competing with other songs, especially singles in the streaming thing. You're competing with other songs right before you and after you. So you don't want to have all of a sudden your song is lower by, where they have to crank up the volume to hear your song compared to the other one. So
Right.
But with vinyl, it's different because vinyl is a actual physical thing, and you actually have a needle that presses grooves onto a record. And I'm sure a lot of you know this, but some of you might not. It actually presses grooves onto a record, so you can only put a certain amount of time on each side before the sound starts getting worse. But vinyl at its best is a great sounding. I mean, there's nothing better sounding than vinyl at its best. So we had Nigel masters for vinyl separately, where the levels are a little bit lower.
Yeah.
And some of the compression things that he does is a little different. And then for CD, where all of a sudden you try to get it up there with everybody else. And like Dan said, a lot of these older records, we don't have the original mixes unmastered, so we have to use the mastered versions and remaster that. But this one was different. This one we have the original mixes, and so we mastered it like we mastered it in 1996, where we have the mixes and we send them to the mastering guy and he masters that.
In fact, when Sony Music owns Free Flying Soul album, and the reason that they own that is the record label that we're on for Free Flying Soul was called Tattoo Records, which is part of another label called Benson, and they were bought by a big label called Zomba, which had Britney Spears at the time when they bought us, and then Zomba was bought by BMG, and Sony bought BMG. So it's like, if you imagine like
the big fish ate the little
big
fish.
fish ate the little fish, it kept on going like that. So Sony Music had the masters and everything. So when they sent me all the files from that, there was one track of Steve singing a Tom Jones song.
Why?
Why was there actually on the album? But it's not on the CD.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
Right.
Why am I doing this? Why was I singing?
Why?
And why was it on the DAT tape?
Well, it was probably at
Probably
the
just ran tape.
you were at the Berry Hill studio, right?
Yeah, we had a studio
Nashville?
in Berry Hill in Nashville. It's a little sub town in Nashville, where all the studios basically are now. A lot of studios.
So you were recording then. We did like all the tracking there, right?
Yeah, we did. All the tracking there. We mixed it. I don't even remember the name of the studio we mixed it at. A guy named Paul Salveson mixed this record.
And then, okay, but who was all involved in the recording process? Was this Chris Colbert at the time there, or
No,
no?
No, I think Derry engineered that.
I engineered.
Yeah.
Derry.
Tim Chandler came out from LA.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was. We had been in. We came out in '93 from LA, so we'd only been in Nashville for 3 years, and Tim Chandler, our bass player, was still in Southern California. So he flew out and spent some time with him. We were really excited to have him with us,
Mm-hmm.
and he was in great spirits. Some of his really good. Tim was always. He brought so much creativity, but. This was he really brought a great energy to Free Flying Soul, and in every way, even lyrically, he would come talk to me. He always go, "Steve, you're at the top of your game, man. Let me read your lyrics." And even when, like, if I was playing drums when he wasn't playing bass, he'd sit in the room and he'd be smoking. He'd have an ashtray and he'd be looking at me, just smiling and nodding. He just really was affirming.
Right.
Really, it's a warm place in my heart with Tim, the Free Flying Soul. And then Tim left. And we brought Wayne Everett out because I produced the Prayer Chain records, and I kind of bonded. I bonded with Wayne. We were buddies. And I'm like, man, let's bring Wayne out just to hang out. And so that's why on the album credit it says thanks to Tim Chandler and Wayne Everett for inspiration.
Right.
And
Well, going with that, okay, so one of the things on the Free Flying Soul Kickstarter that we do for all our Kickstarters is we do a band commentary, where we kind of all sit down and talk about each track or some memories from the day. And you're talking to Wayne about maybe him participating in the band commentary.
Right. Yeah, he said he'd love to.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So he talked about it. It's funny when you go down memory lane, you think you don't remember it all, but then you start talking amongst each other and it comes back.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be fun.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
Speaking of the prayer chain, do you want to talk about the stretch goal?
Yeah,
Is this the
so,
time?
yeah, well, we met our first stretch goal, which was, our goal was $30,000, and we're now at $45,000. So the first thing to say is thank you, and we have a lot of gratitude for that. It's fantastic. So thank you for that. So our first stretch goal was to reach 45,000, and we would do a new version of a song from Free Flying Soul. So we're going to give the song. Derry and Steve and I reimagined the version of The Ocean. So there's going to be a new version of The Ocean that everybody on Kickstarter is going to get for that. So thank you. We met that. And then, you know how on the last record with the Chase the Kangaroo album, we did a 77s X The Choir, where we covered their song Nowhere Else, and then they covered our song To Cover You. So we had the bright idea of trying it again with the prayer chain. And you have a natural connection with the prayer chain, not only from Wayne working on it, but you work with the band.
Yeah, I produced the records, and but Dan, we're trying always trying to be poetic. I remember when we on the last one, the Chase Kangaroo Kickstarter, we we're like, well, what number? And I go, well, 77. The 77s. If we hit 77,000, we're like, we'll never hit 77,000. Well, let's just throw it out there, and we did. You guys have just have kept us buoyant, and I can't even believe that. Well, we hit that, and so we did it, and now it's a 45. Anyway, so Dan said, is there any number, that goes with the prayer chain? Can you think of some number? And I'm like, well, they have this song called 58.
Yeah.
I remember so clearly because I was there, and what those guys used to do, because they had music, they would just jam, and they'd have jams, what they call them, and they would give them titles before there was lyrics, based on whatever, and there's a chalkboard, and I looked up there and I go, what's that song 54? There's a song called 54 up there. I go, what's that? And they go, well, it's in 5/4 time. I'm like, what? I go, no, that's in 5/8 time. Oh, they go, and then one of them erased it and wrote 58 on the chalkboard instead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
that's how that happened.
Yeah.
And it is, it won't came to 4/5, don't came to 4/5, don't came to 4/5. Well, it's 5/8, not 5/4. But anyway,
Yeah.
you can argue
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
But, but then Eric Composona wrote this amazing, heavy, intense lyric. That certainly has nothing to do with the word 58, but that's the prayer chain. But anyway, so we thought, well, what if we cover that song?
Right.
And which is really challenging.
Yeah.
That's we're like, wow, how are we going to do that? And I don't know how we're going to do it, but
Yeah.
we could do some Moody Cool version, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they get to cover a song of ours. I called each guy, and they were each one individually open and excited and
Yeah.
wanted to do it.
Well, it's super ambitious, but if we hit 58,000 on the Kickstarter, this will happen. And so we'll do a digital download, and then we'll look to the idea of what we did with the 77s and creating a 7-inch vinyl. Can't commit to it at the moment, but that would be something we'd love to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've been jib-jabbering for a little bit here. Do you want to play a song totally unrelated to Free Flying Soul?
Sure, I don't care.
What song, Gary?
I don't know.
You don't know? When did we practice?
Well, we could either do, we practiced, what did we practice?
Well, okay. It is related if we do Burning Like the Midnight Sun.
Okay.
Oh, there
Okay.
you go.
Yeah.
Because that is a song about perseverance in relationships. It's about not giving up on people, And the fact is that we are talking about it now. We did in 1996, and here we are.
Yeah.
We have persevered, and we got it. I just tell everybody, don't give up on each other. Mercy on you, mercy on me. That's what this song's about. gold ring in the mud, sadly sinking. I'm not a carnival balloon going down slow but soon, more like a chemical fighter, unrelenting. I'm not going down behind the mountain, I'm never gonna fade away. I'm burning like a midnight sun, I'm burning like a midnight sun. I'm not gonna sink into the ocean, baby, I'm here to stay. I'm burning like a midnight sun, I'm burning like a midnight sun. I'm not going down. I'm not going down. I'm not a firefly flashing in the dark. I'm not a hot coal in the pit disintegrating. I'm not a whistling piccolo beat exploding in the streets, more like a ruby red star, forever riding. I'm not going down behind the mountain, I'm never gonna fade away. I'm burning like the midnight sun, I'm burning like the midnight sun. I'm not gonna sink into the ocean, baby, I'm here to stay. I'm burning like the midnight sun, I'm burning like the midnight sun. I'm not going down. I'm never gonna give you up, I'm never gonna give you up. I'm burning like a midnight sun, I'm not going down. I'm not going down. Oh, I'm not going down.
How'd that sound?
It's all right.
Everybody out there? Is the mic still on? Very good. Very good. Let's see. I'm trying to refresh the comments to see if there's any questions. Lisa, have you seen any questions out
I
there?
haven't seen any questions,
All right.
but I only have this.
But I see a
this
lot of
one.
comments.
Yeah.
I see a couple hundred comments on here. Well, that's good.
That's
Well,
good.
speaking of this song, we played it live we did our first live show for the first time in about 4 years.
Yeah.
And it felt great. It was
Yeah.
so good to see. Were the Howards? Yeah, Howard's there.
The Howards were there.
La
Yeah.
Fianzas, you know,
La
a
Fianza.
lot of friends, and
Yeah.
people are really, you know,
Ken Taggart was there.
we
Yeah.
got through it. It was a little rough, but you know, people are gracious to us,
Yeah.
and it felt good.
It was good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, want to really appreciate Audio Feed Festival. We played. It was in Illinois, Champaign, Illinois.
Yeah.
So we took Lisa and I took our two dogs up there, Spooky and Hotcake, and they love hotel rooms. So that's where that's where they enjoyed things most.
I love hotel rooms.
Yeah, I know. Especially hotel rooms with room service, but
Oh man.
oh my gosh, those are the best.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be in a lot of hotels, Steve.
I'm going to be in a lot of hotels. I just saw Sixpence put a new. They added 25 more dates. So
Right.
I'm gone for 50 dates this fall.
Wow.
What are you doing?
I'm shaking a tambourine and playing acoustic guitar. If I don't get fired from
You
that.
can't choke the strings.
I can't match. Slocum says I choke the strings. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Well, why are they touring this fall?
Because they have a new recording that I got to produce.
Oh, you got to produce that?
I did.
All right.
And
How many songs?
6 songs on the EP.
It's good too.
It's good?
It's good.
I think it's good.
It's all right.
Yeah. Did you write anything on it?
I got to co-write one song with them.
What song?
It's called
It's
called We Are Love.
We Are Love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
And
all
that-
good songs. They're all good songs.
Yeah. That's going to come out when? In like October?
Yeah, 1st of October.
Okay.
First tour.
So did you look at all the cities that you're playing?
I did. I looked at all the cities.
Are you playing Cincinnati?
No, we're playing in I don't know, a couple places in what's that one? What's the other city?
Columbus.
Columbus. Yeah, we're playing in Columbus. That other city in Ohio.
Akron.
Yeah, that other
Cleveland.
city in Ohio, Columbus. And,
Go Buckeyes? No?
no, I don't think we're playing in Akron, Dan.
No, that's a good.
Buckeyes are
Buckeyes,
Columbus.
Ohio State.
Ohio State's
I
Columbus.
think
Yeah.
of you as Buckeye.
Oh, that's
Michael's
true,
from
yeah.
Akron, Ohio. That's why.
Well, it's the Buckeye. Isn't it the Buckeye State?
Yeah, it's and it's called that because Buckeye is a worthless nut.
Yeah. You know why I always say that? You know, I always from the beginning I've been going Buckeye Dan Michaels from Akron, Ohio.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've always thought that annoyed you. I couldn't tell.
Well, I prefer to be thought of as a Californian,
Yeah.
but it's true. My roots are in Ohio. I mean, you can take the man out of Ohio, but you can't take the Ohio out of the man.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought you were proud. Ohio. Well, I used to tour in college in this like choir. I would in Azusa Pacific College. Tim went there, and Billy Smiley was in
From Whitehart.
From Whitehart. We were all. You know, these choirs would go to different churches and perform. Whenever somebody would have a solo or whatever, they'd always say, "So and so from Lubbock, Texas." They always announce the person and where they're from. So that's why Buckeye Dan Michaels from Akron, Ohio.
I'll take it. I'm older, wiser.
Yeah.
I'll take it now.
Yeah.
What?
So they want to know if the choir will be touring.
Oh, okay. So
Hopefully
one of
in
the
the spring.
questions, yeah, that's Lisa in the background, monitoring things, handling things for us, and somebody asked if we're touring at some point. So if we do,
It'll have to be in the spring.
it'll be in the spring of next year because Steve's a busy boy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Another question is explain the meaning of circle slide or why.
Really? Somebody wants to know the meaning of
a
circle
couple,
slide?
unless it's the
Yeah.
same person more than once.
Oh, really? Well, I've explained this a few times, but whenever you have a weird title like that, just be prepared. Like the worst thing that we ever did is have this album called Chase the Kangaroo, because I do not. Little do I know that I had to be asked that question, 4 million times. But circle slide is like my idea of a childhood sort of image of heaven, like eternal joy. Like I remember those slides that you would go to in the 70s, those big slides. You'd get a burlap bag and you'd pay a dime and you'd go down this long slide. And I thought as a kid that was heaven, but then you'd always have to run all the way up the stairs and then do it again. Yeah, and it was over so quick. And I thought, what if a slide just never ended? Like it just went on and on. You just were on a slide forever, As a child, I thought that would be heaven.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what circle slide is,
Yeah, I get that.
You
Makes
get it?
sense. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember those burlap bags.
Yeah, remember that?
Oh my gosh.
And sometimes your leg would come off of them, you get burned.
Remember
Plastic.
those like playground slides that were made out of steel?
Oh, they were
And
hot.
When it got hot,
Yeah, you couldn't go on it in the summertime.
Back in my day.
Back in my day,
Slide.
our slides were made out of metal.
Yeah.
Heated up to 120 degrees.
We busted our heads and we didn't care.
Yeah. I know. Is anybody else have some old childhood memories? Post them in the comments. We want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So, okay, what else do we want to talk about? Talked about playing live. We talked about Free Flying Soul. One of the things that's really important about these Kickstarters is the executive producer. We've had an executive producer on every single project lately, and that's the same thing this time out. So what's the deal with that, you guys?
Well, executive producer, they kind of get everything. They get everything, plus, I guess on this one they get to come out. They can come out and either sing karaoke a song, record, or just hang out or whatever.
Whatever they want, they get the credit on the back. But mostly, it's like it's not so much what we can do for you at that point. It's what that does for us, and the people that have stepped up and done that have made a difference. It's like I've told them, now we could. I don't know. They've really
it does make a difference.
It has an impact,
yeah.
and it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like music nowadays. It's like music is free, right? You don't have to pay for music at all if you don't want it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, remember in the studio we used to have this thing called honor snacks.
Mm-hmm.
And we had these honor snacks, and these people would come in with these honor snacks, and they'd set them there, and like you're supposed to put 50 cents or $1, and because the snacks were free, basically people would come late night.
Well, people would take the money too.
Yeah. So
any money that was in there.
A lot of people didn't have honor.
It.
It's the same thing with music. A lot of people don't have honor. They just take the music. It's free, right? You don't have to. But I think it's the people that are really generous and are in a position to do so that make it so all the other people that get the music for free. That's great because ultimately we just want to keep making music and people to hear it.
Yes. Yeah.
And the fact that people are to step up and be real generous. It just it keeps our boat afloat,
Right.
And it's just
yeah.
And we've had every Kickstarter we've done, some person has generously stepped up and done that. But
yeah,
so we need one now.
So
sure.
Either way,
we're here to do it.
We're so grateful because every time we do a Kickstarter, it's so well supported. We're a band that never really hit it big. We never, like we say, we never sowed wide, but we sowed deep, and our success is our longevity, I would say, because we still get to do it. And
what's the? You always kind of talk about rowing your boat to the middle of the lake.
Yeah, me and my analogies,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like you row your boat out on the lake so far that you cannot see the shore, and most of the time, in people that go into the arts, not just music, but any arts, you only row so far, then you've got to swim back or jump out of the boat, swim back. The decision gets made for you because it's really hard to make a go of it in the arts at all. But if you're like us, you've done it so long that you don't know how to do anything else.
Yeah.
You have to keep rowing, and that's what we do. We just keep rowing in.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, we're thankful for all the support and help that we get, and people still. The main thing is that people still want to hear our music and it wants to, even in our old age, we're still at it. We're still trying hard. We feel we're still offering important things. Every song we write, I care a lot. I want to offer.
Well, even earlier this year, I think we recorded one of our, I don't know, I wouldn't say best songs, but one of our better songs. It's Good to Be Alive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What a wonderful lyric. What a wonderful performance.
Yeah.
On that. So.
Yeah.
I'm anxious for people to hear that. If we can put it out on an album, people from our Patreon have it, but it needs to be heard.
Yeah.
So. We should play another song. We've been talking a lot.
Yep.
Well, what do you guys want to play?
We could do Birds Bewildered.
Let's try it. Yeah, we tried this. We did the song "Birds Bewildered." It's easy for us to go back and way down memory lane, and we're going to do "To Cover You." Like, oh, we wrote "To Cover You" when Emily was first born, and now she's like 38 or whatever. 36. I'm like 36 or whatever. Sorry, Emily. And this is a song off of Bloodshot. Really proud of the Bloodshot album. Really like this song, but called "Birds Bewildered." And we managed to pull it off at the festival. It's a little high risk. Dan has got an amazingly challenging part.
It is, yeah.
Because it was a string arrangement that was pretty amazing that Matt Slocum arranged, and Dan's gonna do it.
Just make it shred long enough.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you make a mistake, Dan, it's all right.
It's all
Mercy
right.
on you, mercy on me. Yeah.
All right.
Fluttering against the glass like birds bewildered. We suffer in the dungeons of our mind. Now the door is open wide, the light unfiltered. Find your way, blue sky, I'll find mine. Hope our heart hasn't happened yet. Its coyote has a few regrets. I think you were the one who said something untrue. Now the loving thing to do was to set each other free. My mind is kind of fuzzy, it doesn't much matter who. Maybe I said it to you, set each other free. We can't untake the medicine we swallow. If I could, I would rewind the hands of time. We cannot take the treacherous paths we follow. Where you'll find the love you to find. Peace of mind is elusive still. I love your soul and I always will. I think you're the one who said something untrue. How the loving thing to do was to set each other free. My mind is kind of fuzzy and it doesn't much matter who. Maybe I said it to you. We set each other free. Open heart hasn't happened yet. This coyote has a few regrets. Peace of mind is elusive still. I love your soul and I always will. I think you were the one who said something untrue. How the loving thing to do was to set each other free. My mind is kind of fuzzy and it doesn't much matter who. Maybe I said it to you. We set each other free.
I'm just showing off now.
You killed it, Dan. That was awesome.
Thank you.
It's the best you ever played it.
Well, I got Brian Fraser watching us. We have Johnny Bradford watching us. We got Mark Hill from Scotland. Stayed up in the middle of the night.
No way,
watching
Mark.
us.
Hey, Mark.
I know.
Hey, Brian.
I know. All these
Nice.
people.
Everybody,
So-
wow, Dan Michaels, man, we got Dan in 1984. Our roadie had pulled Dan's name off a corkboard, and he.
Yeah, I was playing at Calvary Chapel Costa Mesa in their orchestra. They had like
Okay,
a
that's
little
what it was,
praise orchestra, and so I wanted to play with a rock band.
Yeah.
So I put my name up on a cork board, and man, seriously, when Derry called me, he called me. I was living in Anaheim and said, "Let's rehearse. Let's try it out. Want to audition you?" And I showed up at Derry's dad's church in Cerritos, and as you would expect, Stephen Derry didn't show up on time, but Derry's grandma was there.
Right?
And she was like, "Yeah, let me get a hold of him." And then they eventually showed up. I rehearsed, and when I heard the music, it was like that was the music that was in my head all along. Like I was like a jazz fusion guy, kind of growing up listening to like jazz and modern fusion, which is no problem. It's all great. But when I heard the needle drop in high school at a party of the psychedelic furs, I was like, that opened my mind up to all kinds of alternative music. So when we rehearsed and I heard the Voices and Shadows album, I was like, this is exactly what I wanted to do. And so here we are, 40 years later.
40 years.
Yeah.
So when we got Dan's name off the board and we called him and he was going to come rehearse, Steve and I are sitting there talking and they're going, man, I just hope he doesn't have a mustache.
Yeah.
And he shows up and he has a mustache.
Well, back then, in the 80s, the only person that had a mustache in pop music was John Oates.
Yeah.
That was it. There was
Yeah,
nobody.
right.
And sure, he
Yeah.
had a beard and a mustache. You were like, oh no,
Yeah.
and then he shaved it up, but now he has the coolest beard there
I
ever
know.
was.
Yeah. Yeah.
What, you just chopped about 6 inches off of that.
Oh yeah. It was down here. So here's the deal: when pandemic happened, a lot of meetings started happening on Zoom. So for years, I'm looking at myself in a Zoom picture, and all I can see is this big floor mop of a beard, coming underneath me. So I decided about a year ago to kind of shave it short. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go that way for a little while.
I don't like it as much.
Yeah.
I just
That's okay.
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's all good. So let's see. Any other questions? I got making sure we had. We're hearing from everybody. Mark Koopman says Mark Koopman taped the audio feed performance, so we're gonna have some video going on there a little bit later. But I don't know. I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
I think we're good. Man, thanks for joining us tonight. It means a lot. You
Yeah.
guys are super cool, super supportive.
Thanks for sticking with us.
Yep. Love y'all.
Any executive producers out there, come on.
I know. You get to tell us what to do if you executive produce.
That's right.
That's my
And,
job.
Me.
Lisa being an executive producer is going to hit the in button right now.
Bye.
Bye.